Success Insight shares the stories of the people with passion and drive who make things happen in the world. Here's your host, Howard Fox.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Success Insight. Our guest today is Andrée Martin, and we all know when Andrée Martin is on Success Insight, it must be Mindset Monday. Now, Andrée is your leadership mindset and golf performance coach. She is an LPGA Class A Life member and nationally recognized top 50 golf teacher and expert, and a member of the Maine Golf Hall of Fame, recognizing golf's value as a business tool in today's competitive marketplace. Andrée works with individuals, groups, corporate or organizational clients to create educational and team-building programs that enhance the professional success of aspiring executives. Andrée Martin, welcome back to the Success Insight podcast.
Thanks, Howard. It's always good to be back with you. And this Monday, our topic is In the Struggle Comes Victory.
You know, I've never seen victory without a little bit of sweat and tears. So tell us about that.
Well, I just love, as you know, my focus has always come from go for the gold and don't settle for silver. And a quote stood out for me by Wilma Rudolph, who everybody knows overcame so much to win Olympic gold as a runner when she shouldn't even have been walking. And the quote said, "Triumph can't be had without struggle." And literally, she was not supposed to walk. And she went on to win gold and many great things. And even reading through several Olympians, I believe it was Derek Redmond, who said, achieve greatness in whatever you do. And achieving greatness doesn't come without struggle either, does it? And it makes me think of the times we're going through right now with COVID, in that we're all being thrown all kinds of curveballs in our families, in our businesses, in our lives. And it's all in how you strive for greatness and don't let anything get in your way. You can be thrown those curveballs. How are you dealing with it?
I get the struggle. I get the victory. But in the struggle, I wonder what mindsets or competencies or abilities you have to have in place to overcome that struggle in the moment to achieve victory. So Wilma Rudolph, and I know I am out on a limb here, as I recall, it was polio, correct?
It was polio.
Right.
Being from a poor family.
Probably lack of health care and services.
Lack of health care, social barriers.
Right. So having the illness, part of the road to overcoming the struggle, it had to be her family, most likely, close colleague, close friends, but her what was ever inside her heart, so to speak.
Yes, exactly. She had this burning inside to push herself through. Her mother was stroking her legs and just kept saying, you can do this, you can do this. And she had a track coach that just believed in her, put her on working out with the boys, and she just kept doing really well and focused forward. And then it makes me think of two other big Olympic runners. Eric the Eel. He was the Equatorial Guinea first-time Olympian. He never should have made it. And his quote was, it's not in the winning, but the taking part that counts. You know, the fact that he hung in there and did it. Actually, Eric the Eel was the swimmer. He was the eel in the water. Derek Redmond, on the other hand, was the champion that was very inspiring. And I just loved the fact that it was human spirit triumphing over injury. And he had a hamstring pull. He was actually known for the guy that popped his hamstring halfway through the race, and his dad helped him cross the finish line. He had won so many events. And despite all that, he still came through and said, to be a true champion, you have to be physically strong, but even more so, you need to be mentally strong. And you think about businesses today, any leader of a business, to keep moving forward, to keep sustaining all the challenge that is being thrown at us through the effects of Corona, even through the effects of what's going on in government, whatever it is that's being thrown our way. Now we're moving into winter in northern climates. And so they're having to deal with, okay, I may not be able to do my business outside. How can I do it inside? Be socially responsible, still make this work, still make my business financially successful, and put food on the table for my teammates, for my employees, and making everything succeed. And it makes me think of tour players that have just plugged along and plugged along and plugged along to make it. Tiger Woods has overcome a series of injuries and personal challenge and still figured out a way to make it through in the Masters in 2019 to win. And it was probably the most improbable comeback in sport. And he did it. So what did it? What did it? He even said hard work took the body, mind, and spirit coming together in 1 week. We can go business-wise or woo-woo in either direction, but all of us know that the mind needs to align with the body and be spiritually strong to push forward under any circumstance.
Look, who am I to argue with a point made by Tiger Woods? But hard work is not enough in my mind. It has to be something else that is firing on all cylinders. It's personal power, success orientation, resilience, flexibility, adaptability. All those things have to come together and be at peak running in order for that hard work to pay off. The hard work is just sticking with it.
And not quitting. But it's not just about the not quitting. It's the shift in focus. Okay, let's talk about the body, the mind, and the spirit part of it. It takes digging deep within your soul to be able to amp yourself up to keep moving forward despite whatever odds are being thrown your way. Whether it is overcoming an injury, whether it is overcoming, oh my gosh, my business is struggling here because of COVID, but I can do this. We can make this happen. What other resources do we have to pull this through? And it makes me think, okay, you're in a hazard and you've got no shot. Okay, can I use an unplayable lie to my favor versus counting it as a penalty? You actually have choices. And it is a choice to dig deeper into wallowing into your pain, just as much as it is digging deeper to pass through it and move through that pain.
You know, I tend to be argumentative today. I don't know what it is.
Good, bring it on.
I thought it was a decent day, but you know, I mean, just the idea of choice. I mean, to dig deeper. We have a choice of how we show up, whatever we do
every day.
But you know, something has to be fueling that choice, and there's something burning inside the true champions that says, I can overcome this in the moment and persevere and get the victory.
And I really believe it comes from a love and a passion for what you're doing.
Okay.
If you're in total alignment with your goals and what you want, nothing's going to stop you.
Sure. Yeah, within reason, most definitely.
And the struggle, sometimes I tend to think that the struggle gets thrown at you to test your resolve in the fact that that is your big, hairy, audacious goal, that it is truly what you want, and that it is in alignment with what you need to do. And even in survival, it makes me think of the woman that lifted the car to let her son out from underneath the car. How did she possibly lift that car? What within her did that? And we all have moments of different intensities, of different levels, but that was a different kind of struggle. Struggle can have different purposes, means, and ways of motivating us forward as much as it can motivate us in the other direction. And that's where that choice piece comes from, Howard. It's in how we deal with it.
We have a choice and how we choose to show up when that struggle confronts us. We can whimper and crawl away and give up, or we can meet it head on and say, I see you, I recognize you, but I'm not going to let you get in my way.
Exactly. And that's playing bigger.
And that's playing bigger. That's the mindset.
That is mindset.
I think we somehow are going to get some wonderful lemonade out of these lemons that we've been tossing around today on this episode. And for some reason, I have this. I'm argumentative today for some reason. I don't know why. Just a little argumentative.
Good. Okay, so let me throw a little lightness in the conversation here.
Sure.
There's Tin Cup, right? How many balls did he put in the lake? He didn't stop. He didn't quit. He finished the game. He finished the match. He could have quit. I mean, it's a silly quote unquote movie, but it's reality. Right. I've had Tin Cup moments on the golf course. I know everybody in this audience that has tried the game of golf has had a moment like that. Maybe not as ridiculous, or maybe it was. But how did you finish the game? It's how you finish the race. It's how you finish the game. How are you picking yourself up and continuing forward? Despite all odds, the champions choose to have that motivate them, whereas others can just say, see, I'm just proving that this isn't going to work. It's a choice.
Oh, that's a choice too. Others are going to make a choice too that,
right.
I can't do this, therefore I'm going to walk away. All right. Reminds me, I've got to go watch Tin Cup again now. So
it's a classic.
Thank you very much.
It's a classic.
It was a good movie. So, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So that's on my list of movies to track down over the weekend. So Andrée, if our listeners would like to learn more about you and your work, where are the best places for them to go?
Best places to go are my website, which is andreegolf.com. That's Andrée with 2 E's. You can also reach me on LinkedIn, on YouTube, which is Andrée Martin Golf. I can also be reached on Facebook.
Facebook. Fantastic. Well, we will definitely provide, as usual, the backlinks to your website and to the social sites, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thank you again, wholeheartedly, for joining me on Success Insight. And this is another episode of Mindset Monday. In the struggle comes victory. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Howard. Pleasure as always.
All right, folks. There you have it. Another wonderful episode with Andrée Martin on Mindset Monday. In the struggle comes victory. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of Success Insight, and you can visit us on successinsightpodcast.com. We're also on Facebook and LinkedIn on our Success Insight pages, as well as the major podcasting platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and we are also on YouTube as well. So, come and visit us, listen to the podcast, let us know what you think. We hope you are finding these episodes of Mindset Monday to be insightful. And really, there's a lot more great episodes to come with Andrée as our guest. All right, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a phenomenal day. Take care of yourselves, take care of your family, wear your mask, practice social distancing, and don't forget, get out there and vote. And we'll see you on the next episode of Success Insight. Take care now.
Success Insight is a production of Fox Coaching and First Story Strategies. Find us online, successinsightpodcast.com.